And hello everyone, it's me Iron Opera, and today we are doing a video about top 5 underrated nations in Hoi4. Number 5, Czechoslovakia. So why is Czechoslovakia so underrated, and why is it really not as weak as you may think? So many people think that Czechoslovakia is so weak because it gets annexed in Hoi4. And Slovakia gets puppeted because of the German fate of Czechoslovakia focus, which makes Czechoslovakia die, and because of the Sudetenland claims. But if you play as it, it can be very powerful, and I'm going to tell you the reasons why it can be very powerful. So the first reason is its military factories. You can build a lot of things with. You can build a lot of airplanes. You can build weapons, you can build artillery, support equipment. You have 9 military factories, which is a huge amount if you compare it to the French military factories. France only has 6 military factories, and you have nearly the amount of military factories which the United Kingdom has. United Kingdom has 14 military factories, so they only do have 5 more military factories than you do. So you have a lot of military factories to build things with, and you also have a lot of civilian factories, 60. So the second reason why Czechoslovakia is so powerful is its air force. You start with 264 airplanes, which are made out of different airplanes like tactical bombers, dive bombers, fighters. You have a lot of different airplanes and air bases, and you also have some good airplanes researched over here. You have 1936 dive bombers researched, so you don't really have a weak air force. You have a strong air force which you can compete with if you continue building it. The third reason why Czechoslovakia is so strong is its land force. You have a lot of land force, and you can build land force faster because of the fortification focus that Czechoslovakia has. It gives you plus 30% land fort construction speed, so you can really fortify the shit out of your nation and basically bunker yourself from the Germans. And the fourth reason has to be this tank. It can compete against the German Panzer II. It's a 1935 or 1936 tank which you start with. So you can really produce a shitload of these and compete against the German light tanks. So you really have a strong tank over here. So good luck. And the fifth reason is of course the landscape. So you're surrounded by the mountains. So Sudetenland is your savior. If you give Sudetenland to Germany, you're dead. I'm saying it. Sudetenland is the main part of you. Main defensive part. It defends your capital and defends the province of Bohemia. So as long as you have Sudetenland and you fortify them, you're safe. Don't give Sudetenland away. You have perfect landscape to defend. And the sixth reason is the amount of provinces you have in Czechoslovakia. You have a lot of space to build in. So don't forget to build military factories and land force, and you should be fine if you really fortify yourself and replace your old equipment. So let's go into the next nation. And on the fourth place we have British Raj. So why is it so good, and why people underestimate it, and why do people don't like it? Why do they say that it's bad? So people say that it's bad because it's of course a colony. Everyone is like, oh, it's a British colony, you can't do jack shit. But after you gain independence, this nation is so strong. Many of them who say that this nation is weak don't look at the resources that it contains. You have oil, you have tungsten, you can create a lot of artillery, you have steel, you have chromium, you can even build battleships with chromium, you have rubber, you can build air force, you have a lot of resources. That's the first thing. The second thing in British Raj, what is very good, is the amount of the civilian factories. 14 civilian factories. You can construct a lot of military factories and create a huge army and a lot of weapons. The third thing is the manpower, because you have so much manpower and you just can create hundreds of divisions, as I said. Fourth thing is the access. You have a huge access to the sea. You can invade so many nations. You have choices. Either you invade Iran, Afghanistan, Xinjiang, Tibet, Nepal, Bhutan, China, Yunnan, Siam, or even try to naval invade something. You can try to naval invade Oman or Yemen. You have a lot of choices to do as this nation. And even if you stay democratic, you can create hundreds of divisions with the manpower. Number 3, Mexico. So why is Mexico such a strong nation? Okay, the first reason is its manpower, of course. 198.35 thousand manpower. So what can you do with this manpower, and what's the tactic to play as Mexico? So as you may know, United States starts with the Great Depression, which really destroys everything that the US can do in a few years. So US starts with 36 divisions, and that's not really that much for such a huge nation. And with Mexico, you can create a lot of cavalry. Mexico starts with 6 divisions. You can create a shitload of cavalry with these 3 military factories and just send them to attack the United States and take the big cities from the US. And the US won't stand a chance against you, because they will not have enough divisions to stop you. You just can surround all of the US divisions and take their big cities and make US capitulate. So Mexico is in a good position against the United States. Just be aware of the US landing in your naval bases. Be aware, be prepared, and yeah, with cavalry you can take United States over because of the Great Depression in the United States. Mexico has a really great position to do that. And after you've taken the US down, you can go and attack into Central America and go into South America. And on number 2 we have Turkey, because Turkey starts with 27 divisions and 124k manpower, and you have a nice terrain. You have mountains, you have rivers, you have 9 ships, which one of them is a battle cruiser. Yeah, and you have a lot of chromium and some steel in you, so you can construct some navy with the chromium at least. And if you take Greece over, you'll have a shitload of resources, so you can turn fascist or either communist and take over Greece, Iraq and Iran before World War II starts, and pick a side. You can either join the Axis or the Comintern, or even I don't know about the Allies, but you can join either the Axis or the Comintern and have a huge impact on the World War if you take over Iraq, Iran, Greece, or even Bulgaria. Yeah, Turkey is a great nation to play as, in my opinion. At the number 1 spot we have Spain. So many people don't like Spain or love Spain because Spain goes into the civil war, but after the civil war, if you're either Republican or the nationalist Spain, you can create hundreds of divisions within a few years. So basically the mini Soviet Union. You can do a lot of infantry, you can make a shitload of infantry, should I say. You have the manpower, you have 225,000k manpower on volunteer only, and you can change to limited conscription and get a lot more manpower. So you really have a lot of resources also in you, and that really makes you able to make a lot of weapons. So you can construct a shitload of weapons and make hundreds of divisions. You've maybe seen Franco, the nationalist Spain, make about 200 or 300 infantry divisions in the late game. So it's basically the mini Soviet Union. You have the manpower in Spain to make a lot of divisions and a lot of infantry. So in my opinion, Spain is a good nation to play as. You have some land in Africa also, yeah, and islands like the Canary Islands. And yeah, I think this list was here. I hope you enjoyed it. You can recommend me to make more or less, or give me some ideas. And Spain actually has a decent fleet of 30 ships also, and 87 airplanes and 7 military factories. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you everyone for watching. It was me, Iron Opera, and I'll see you in the next live stream or a video. Bye bye everyone, have a nice day.